Trigonometry and vectors share a habit of punishing the wrong starting choice before a single number is even calculated. Reaching for SOHCAHTOA on a triangle that doesn't have a right angle anywhere in it. The method itself simply doesn't apply, no matter how carefully it's carried out afterwards. The largest angle in a triangle and the longest side treated as unrelated facts when they're actually the same fact stated twice. A vector's direction reversed and its components left completely unchanged, when reversing direction means reversing every single component, and a route built from one point to another using vectors, with a sign flipped partway through the journey. 4 separate places where the setup decides everything before the arithmetic even begins. Take your time with this one. Let's start with the question that has to be answered before any triangle calculation begins. Does SOHCAHTOA even apply here? SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, and tangent, defined as ratios of opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, only works on a right-angled triangle. No right angle anywhere in the triangle, and none of those 3 ratios mean anything at all. For any other triangle, you need one of 2 different tools instead, the sine rule or the cosine rule. Choosing between them comes down to what you're actually given. If you have a matching pair, an angle, and the side directly opposite that same angle, plus one more angle or side, use the sine rule. If instead you have 2 sides and the angle trapped between them, or all 3 sides with no angle at all, there's no matching pair available, and the cosine rule is the only one that works. Now, a fact that looks like 2 separate pieces of information, but is really one single idea. The largest angle in a triangle is always opposite the longest side, and the smallest angle is always opposite the shortest side. This isn't just a curiosity, it's a genuine sanity check. Use the cosine rule to find an angle and get an answer that comes out obtuse. Check that it's the angle opposite the longest side. If it isn't, a mistake has happened somewhere upstream, and the sine rule has a trap connected to the same idea. Because sine is positive for both an acute angle and its obtuse supplement, solving for an angle with the sine rule can sometimes produce 2 mathematically valid answers. And it's the longest side rule that tells you which one is actually correct for that triangle. Now, a completely different topic, but the same instinct to lose a small but critical detail: vectors and direction. A vector has both a size and a direction, and reversing that direction doesn't change the size at all, but it does reverse every single component. If the vector from A to B is written as a column vector, 3, -2, then the vector from B to A, the exact reverse journey, is -3, 2. Both components flipped, not just the overall sign written once out front. Get the direction backwards in a vector problem, and every step built on top of it points the wrong way too. One last precision point, and it's where marks quietly disappear even when the diagram is understood perfectly. Building a route from one point to another using vectors. To travel from point A to point B via some other point, you add the vectors for each leg of the journey in order: vector A to that point, plus vector from that point to B. Get a single leg of that journey backwards, and the sign on that entire term flips, throwing off everything that follows it. And once a route is expressed correctly in terms of 2 independent vectors, there's a genuinely useful shortcut available. If 2 expressions in those same 2 independent vectors are equal, their matching coefficients must be equal to, letting you solve directly without needing to rebuild the whole geometric picture from scratch. Quick practice first. A triangle has 2 sides, 8 centimeters and 10 centimeters, with an angle of 50 degrees between them. Which rule would you use to find the third side, the sine rule or the cosine rule? The cosine rule, 2 sides and the angle trapped between them. That's SIS, with no matching angle opposite side pair anywhere, so the sine rule can't be used here. Now, a full exam-style question tying together everything in this lesson. Part A. A triangle has sides of 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and 7 centimeters. Using the cosine rule, find the size of the largest angle to 1 decimal place. Part B. A triangle has an angle of 40 degrees, with the side opposite it measuring 6 centimeters, and a second angle of 75 degrees. State which rule you'd use to find the remaining side and explain why. Part C, vector AB equals the column vector 3, negative 2. State vector BA. Part D, OA equals vector A and OB equals vector B. M is the midpoint of AB. Find OM in terms of A and B. Part A. The largest angle is opposite the longest side, 7 centimeters. Using the cosine rule, 5 squared plus 6 squared minus 7 squared, all divided by 2 times 5 times 6. That's 12 over 60, which is 0.2. The angle is the inverse cosine of 0.2, approximately 78.5 degrees. Part B. The sine rule, the 40-degree angle and its opposite 6 centimeter side form a matching pair, and the second angle, 75 degrees, is exactly the extra piece the sine rule needs. Part C. BA equals negative 3, 2. Both components of AB reversed. And Part D. AB equals vector B minus vector A. M is the midpoint, so AM is 1/2 of that, B minus A. OM equals OA plus AM, which is A plus 1/2 of B minus A, giving 1/2 A plus 1/2 B, or 1/2 of the sum A plus B. So, 4 ideas, all about the setup, deciding everything before the arithmetic starts. SOHCAHTOA only works on a right-angled triangle. Anything else needs the sine rule or the cosine rule, chosen by what you're actually given. The largest angle sits opposite the longest side, always, a genuine sanity check, and the key to the sine rule's ambiguous case. A reversed vector flips every component, not just an overall sign, and a root built from vectors adds each leg in order, with matching coefficients in 2 independent vectors, giving a direct shortcut to the answer. I've put all 4 in the notes. Revise it on StudyRevise while it's fresh.